This is In Case You Missed It, your National Agriculture News Recap for the week ending June 12, 2026. The National Farmers Union says a new bill could undermine laws protecting Canadian agriculture and food. Bill C-30 looks to implement measures from the Spring Economic Update. It contains amendments to several acts, including the Canadian Food Inspection Agency Act. The proposed changes would allow the federal governor and council to exempt people, things, or activities from some laws and regulations. This could be done if the government thinks it won't pose unnecessary risk and if it's deemed necessary for economic and food security. However, NFU analyst Kathy Holtzlander said the cabinet is asking for a blank check to change laws and regulations. She suggested this could put more power in the hands of companies and put farmers at risk if they're held to standards from which others are exempted. This is of particular concern since the Carney government is keen on foreign investment. However, seen from another angle, the bill could be a good thing. Tyler McCann is managing director of the Canadian Agri-Food Policy Institute. He said the rules will only be used in exceptional circumstances and will require transparency. He also said the government seems ready to follow through on promises of regulatory reform, adding that Canadian regulations have often been a barrier to growth and innovation. Canada's beef industry has appointed a 14-person task force to come up with a clear position on cattle traceability. The CFIA has put on hold new traceability regulations for cattle and bison following outcry over a previous plan. Task force members come from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. They will sit independently, not representing any organization. The group's first order of business will be to define outcomes a traceability system must accomplish to serve producers and protect the industry. Next, the task force must propose a clear and practical traceability framework. Traceability is important and beneficial, said Saskatchewan Cattle Association Chair Chad Ross. However, implementation and regulation are concerns. Producers want technology that's easy to use. They're also concerned about disease investigations, Ross said. He pointed to recent investigations around bovine tuberculosis cases in his province. Ross said the regulators need to incentivize producers instead of criminalizing them during disease outbreaks. Agriculture technology for capturing carbon is well understood. However, lack of funding and policy clarity is minimizing its impact. There are a lot of carbon-related pilots, but they're not connected, said Barb Schwartzentruber. She is Senior Advisor for the Canadian Alliance for Net Zero Agri-Food, or CANZA. That lack of connection means farmers, organizations, and project developers have to navigate multiple convoluted systems to fund carbon projects. Biogas digesters are one of the technologies known to work at scale. The problem is paying for them, said Steve Kehoe. Kehoe is Director of Energy Transition and Sustainability Services at BMO Capital Markets. The cost to produce biogas can be anywhere from $10 to $30 per gigajoule. There are other revenue streams from digesters, like the digestate, water, and carbon dioxide. However, it's likely to be necessary to spread the higher cost of biodigester fuel across the much larger natural gas market. Carbon markets show some promise. However, these are yet to put a reliable price on carbon, said Christophe Want, a livestock sustainability specialist with the province of Ontario. It's hard to have a market without a price. A lack of long-term programs and policy also reduce economic incentives. Schwartzentruber said CANZA is creating an environmental outcomes marketplace, which is a middle piece of infrastructure to connect farmers with people who will pay for environmental outcomes. In case you missed these and other stories from across the Glacier Farm Media Network, visit AgCanada.com or download the AgCanada app.